Going once, going twice, closing this damn window. Okay. So, let's get to game, because we've been wasting time. Does anyone want to recap the session that I wasn't streaming because of the whole protest thing?
Last time, our group decided to go around town and ask some people if they needed help and just try and get to know the locals. Mainly going to the farm down south, the Temple of the Old Way with the Bear Noir, and the Church of St. Cuthbert.
The one true way.
Hey, someone found his character between last session and this one.
We ended up clearing out some spiders, and as well as expose a con artist.
Yay.
That's not going to come back to bite us at all.
And I found a ring of invisibility that I should never sleep with.
And currently, I believe we are making plans to assist Bug Noir to go to this place in hopes of magic items and
No. You're making plans to do that, not us.
Oh, you're not going with her?
She hasn't asked us. We've been making plans ourselves.
I brought it up with you guys last session.
Yeah, I do remember that being a thing that happened at the end of last session.
She brought it up to Elric, saying he wants us to help him, since he didn't actually tell Eric what
Oh yeah,
was going
Corbin
on.
never went back to the inn because he went to stay at the temple.
Mm-hmm.
So Corbin's the only one who doesn't know about this. Okay.
And Elbrick is like, it's not that bad of an idea. I still want to help people, though. So he will go. It's just like, there's people.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can see if there's anything we could do before we set off.
Well, it's the dawn of the next day. You are free to do what you will.
I am going to try to find our little halfling.
He's going back to the inn, because technically he would be there.
So, where am I? Ah, there I am. I think. Ah. Pew!
Yes, I guess I'll prepare sleep for today.
Okay. Wait. Liara has prepared a spell. Liara's actually going to cast a spell. Are you going to cast it on the party or the enemy this time?
Since I've actually figured out how to use it, I'm hopefully enemies this time around.
Instead of putting the party to sleep?
Yep.
When that happened, I was kind of sad I wasn't streaming.
I hate how they worded the 30 yards instead of 30 feet, because that just became confusing.
And part of that's that I'm still using feet in the later D&D convention because everyone's used to it. And the yard measurement is stupid. So, Corbin has arrived at the inn. Correct?
Yes.
Wonderful. What's going on with our other fellas? Lyra, Sir Ilbrick, Proudmead, the Butcher of Algrath.
Well, I guess after I'm done preparing that spell, I'm gonna go downstairs for breakfast.
Ah, wonderful. Wonderful. Breakfast today shall be... Oh, I don't know. Do you want a plain or an elaborate breakfast?
I'll take plain. How much is that?
5 copper.
5 copper.
Well, then you're gonna get a bit of toast and an egg. Not amazing food for 5 copper.
Not amazing, but it'll do just fine.
Rufus and Berniard here. Go away. You're too important to be here for breakfast. But Zert and Spugnoir and Turoko and Cobort are all going to be there, as well as someone else whose token I keep forgetting to bring over to this map, so I'm going to do it right now before I forget. Someone who's supposed to be here all the time getting drunk, and I keep forgetting.
Oh, Elmo?
Hello, it's me, Elmo. Yeah, Elmo passed out on the table.
There is one thing I would have tried to do before I came here, and I would have done it last night into this morning.
Okay.
I would have tried to get a list of the followers of St. Cuthbert in the town and those who follow the old ways if we had it.
There is a register. However, you're not permitted to copy it.
Okay.
And you're not permitted to bring it with you.
Okay.
It's kind of a case of, oh, well, this is confidential information. If you have a reason to look up something on the register, you can look it up. But our good friend Turok, that's his name, yes? Turgeon, not Turok. I'm like, Turok's not right. Turgeon. Our good friend Turgeon keeps it in his office because, you know, some people may not want to be known as followers of Cuthbert. But it does only list the followers of Cuthbert.
Okay.
I suppose to find out followers of the old way, you'd have to go speak with our good druid friend.
Heretic. Anyway, hi.
Where did he go off to?
I'm back at the inn first floor, on a table to the north.
That's not the one I was looking for.
Oh.
Please pay me no mind when I'm confused. There he is, okay. So, I had him out and about town while you were out and about, and I kept having his token places, and you kept not paying any attention to him. I'm like, oh, well, okay. I forgot where I left him. At one point, you're standing right next to him, like, oh, are you guys going to ask about him? And then, no, you didn't. I'm like, oh, well, okay.
Oh, the farmer guy is my guess.
Anyway, what's up? So Liara's sitting at a table eating toast. Almost passed out on another table.
Where is Sir Elbrick at?
Currently invisible. Probably would have came down to get food since he fell asleep while invisible.
So Sir Elbrick Proudmeat is downstairs, invisible, having a terrible time of getting anyone to pay attention to him.
Yeah. He forgot about the ring because of nightmares.
And the entire world seems to be covered in a soft fungal mold.
I forgot that's going to last for quite some time, too.
Yeah. So maybe that will remind you to take off your ring.
Yeah, he'll take it off.
Okay. Can't give you a ring of invisibility at level 1 without a drawback. Come on now. What am I, nuts?
Would I see Elbrick in the common room when I go in?
Yeah, sure. At this point.
I would head on over and ask if we can get a table.
Like the table I'm currently sitting at.
I'm in the wrong view. I thought you were outside.
Come on, we spent all our time in this map, apparently.
Yeah, guess I'll move over to them.
So Elbrook personally chooses a table not by Liara. Liara sees Corvin sit down and it's like, oh wait, over there then.
Good morning, Corbin.
I'm not even going to look at her. I am going to say, good morning. Just kind of nodding in general direction of you two. I was thinking of going to attend to the spiritual needs of the farmer today. I was wondering if you would like to accompany Sir Elbrook.
Well, while I won't mind helping, Liara here apparently has some sort of arrangement with spoken noir you might want to hear.
Yes. If I remember correctly, he wants us to visit him to a place to the south.
East.
East. Yeah, supposedly we'll find opportunity to find magic items and treasure.
I'm going to look at Carrington when I'm speaking. Do you believe this is a wise course of action with how powerful or how weak we may be? What if there's dangers that we aren't prepared for there?
We can always hire some muscle.
Are they proper followers of the church?
Thought you would have to ask them yourselves.
All the while he's talking to Carrington while he's doing this, while probably like slipping Carrington little pieces of bacon.
Are they proper followers of the church? Are we proper followers of the church?
It kind of depends on which church you're talking about.
The one true church?
That's a little extreme even by St. Cuthbert standards.
Realize there are many deities in this world, right?
But there is only one who is the best.
And the answer to that question is very subjective. I am not a cleric, so I will not press the issue further.
Sir Elbrook is going to get out a little paper with the name of Cobalt and Tureko and being like, these are the people who said they would come help us for pay. We just need to get them chain shirts.
Elmo's the one who needs a chain shirt.
I thought one of the... Oh, that was the storekeepers we could... the guards.
Yep.
Elmo's the one who's like, Elmo will help fight. You just need a chain shirt and a big axe.
How much for our chain shirts?
I could figure out the value. That's my merchant proficiency.
And Kit, I warned you. The way I got into Corbin's character was basically going the 40k extreme ecclesiarchy person.
Okay, that's fine. Just be aware. That's kind of even extreme by... Like, St. Cuthbert, people are like, yes, kill evil! And then they're like, well, but, like, there's a couple other good deities. That's fine. I mean, St. Cuthbert's a minor deity, so you're gonna feel pretty good about it. And chainmail, I do believe, is 75 gold pieces.
Yes, we don't have that kind of money. Perhaps we need some odd jobs first, which should help us prepare.
Well, we could go around town asking people. I didn't want to when you guys were busy, but...
Oh, didn't someone set up a help wanted board yesterday?
I did.
Perhaps we should check that and see if we have anything.
Why don't you go check it? Yes.
Okay. As the R seemingly goes up to go check it.
Good morning, Ostler.
Ostler's like, good morning.
Did anyone come by on the help wanted board?
Yes. There have been a few comments on it. We have a request from the local tailor. Please let me into the town militia. And Rufus made a note that he would like someone to try to figure out why the workers aren't working properly.
Just so we're clear, these are 3 different quests, right?
Thank you.
There are 2 people that have come by and marked out help wanted on the on the board. The tailor, he says it's the tailor. The name on the request is Nimblefingers. Janwan Nimblefingers wants someone to help him get into the town militia. And then Rufus wants someone to figure out why the workmen aren't working properly on their castle.
What do you think we should do?
I think we should go check on the workmen first. That seems to be of a high priority.
Yes, especially if something's up with the area.
Also wouldn't hurt to be on Rufus's good side.
Indeed, I suppose. He's kind of grumbling when he says that.
You don't like Rufus?
Isn't he the, He was the knight, too, with the wizard, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason he wouldn't like him that as much.
He's the count of this city. Devout follower of St. Cuthbert.
Oh, wait, no. I thought he was a follower of the old ways.
Nope.
Who was that, then?
I think you're talking about the blacksmith.
Maybe that's...
Yep. Brothers.
Okay. That's who I was thinking of then. I got mixed up. Never mind. I have no problem with this then.
Corvin's being all moody, and then it's like, why do you hate him? He's a follower of the old way. He's your church. Oh, then I like him.
Yeah, basically.
Corvin.
I got it mixed up.
Fanatic. Corvin the religious fanatic. Okay. So are you going, where are you going to go? How do you want to go about doing this?
Does Rufus have his own house that's not the being built fortress that we would know of?
Not that you know of.
Then I guess for now, going over towards what we assume is the stonemasons from what we was told, and the castle.
Okay. So are you going to the stonemasons or the castle?
I'm going peek outside the stonemasons, go there first to see if it's just a lack of supplies, or if there's a problem there. It's on the way, why not?
You know, you could just ask the workers.
But what if they're not there? And what if it's a supply thing, and if the stonemason needs help?
Well, I guess we won't know until we check it out.
Did you went poof.
One of the tokens.
Okay, there.
Make. One of the tokens that I didn't make. No.
Not again.
Because I thought you had all decided to do one thing, so I made sure that that was prepared. And now you're doing a different thing.
Nope, apparently our characters have not learned that communication is a two-way street.
That's okay. You're going to love the image I found for this particular individual. So, just bear with me one moment as we place him on the map.
Okay, so guessing we're moving the map to Hamlet.
Yeah, that's where most of this stuff ends up happening. There we go. I don't know where Liana is.
Back at the end.
end.
Liara.
Look at that mustache.
Oh dear, I feel intimidated by that mustache alone.
Oh my god, no one laughed, no one recognized the person.
No, I do not.
Oh. That tells me you have good taste in television.
Nope, just I don't really watch a lot.
Too many people like the show, and I really think it's so stupid.
What show is it?
Parks and Rec.
Okay.
For the viewers on the stream who can not see the map tool because GM mode, it's Paladin Ron Swanson, or as I'm calling him here, Roland Stoneson, who is assembling stones into carts as you approach.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning indeed.
My name is Liara Sora, at your service.
I'm Corvin. Nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure. I've heard there were newcomers in town. I'm sorry, I don't have terribly much time to chat. I'm only here to take a new shipment of stones down to the worksite. As he loads another bit of stone into the cart.
That's why we're actually here.
Oh?
Apparently the workers aren't working at the work site, and there was a sign asking us to try to find out why. That's why we came here first. My friend thought there might be a problem with the supply, and the workers just didn't have the materials to work.
We have had some problems with supply on occasion. That's why I'm bringing some of my personal materials. I was going to build up my wall higher. We can use them for foundation stones at least. I've had to send back the last 3 shipments to Verbabonk. I've been sending the wrong sorts of stone. It won't hold up properly. But you'd want to talk to Jean Ring more about that. He's in charge of ordering, and he's been showing me the orders. It's all been coming through properly, is my understanding.
Alright. Guess we'll talk to him then.
He should be down at the workshop, at the workstation, getting everything ready.
Is there any other questions you would wish to ask? I want to kind of glance at you two.
And I can't really think of anything at the moment. I do want to know how high this wall is.
It's about 10 feet high.
10 feet high. Huh.
Good, solid masonry. Looks like it could easily support being twice as high. As you're looking at the wall, Roland will walk up and say, "Yes, I managed to get the last one up to 25 feet before it collapsed under its own weight. My hope is I can get this one up to 30.
Huh. Well, I wish you the best of luck then.
Thank you." As he loads up some rock and starts heading off to the site.
I guess we could follow after him since we're heading there anyway.
He's unloading stone into this region as one individual's kind of standing above everyone saying, now, we need to lay the foundation stone smoothly. We shouldn't have any problem filling it in with filler. It's only the bottommost layer, but please, let's try to make these stones substantial. It's better to go slow and be late than have a castle falling down. Not pictured are the hordes of workmen. It's probably 45 or 50 altogether.
45 or 50, but not a huge workforce.
40 or 45 or 50 people on a construction project around here. That's a sizable workforce.
Oh. And yet there's an issue with them.
It's apparently a supply issue. But yeah, the man standing up is clearly the foreman.
I shall head over. Hello, sir.
Hello, are you the new workers?
Not entirely. My name is Sir Elbrick. We heard that you might be having a supply issue, and we were trying to see if we could help with that.
I've already managed to send off the revised issue to Verbabank again. They should be able to get things back here, no problem, I hope. Shipment should arrive in 6 days. He's looking over his notes saying, are you sure you're not the new workers? I'm expecting some new workers.
I'm sure. My name is Liara Soran.
We were asked to do this by the Count.
He looks up and he says, Count Rufus?
Here's the...
I've already explained to him the problem, and the solution's already being implemented. I mean, there's really not much more we can do unless he wants to have me ride up every time we go to Verbabank, oversee picking the stones myself, and come down again, which will triple the length of time that it takes to build this thing. We've only had a couple weeks delay. Once we get this sorted out and they know what we need, it shouldn't be any problem again. He walks over towards the workers. Oh, come now, this is the bottom layer. I know we want stability, but we don't need to overlap the stones. Spread them out a little. We're going to be putting in filler when it comes in anyway. Are you sure you don't want a job? We pay a good, respectable silver piece a day.
I'm good.
And we provide tents at the local tent ground.
Maybe later. We have some other business to attend to as well.
I'm sorry, I cannot. If you ever need any priests helping out here for the workers, I am more than willing to attend to their spiritual needs.
No, I don't make their spiritual needs my business. They can all travel to worship whichever gods they please as long as they get their jobs done. He looks up and gives a smile. So which side are you part of? Are you one of Jeru's loonies or one of Terjan's loonies?
I would like to think I'm not a loony. I'm from out of town.
Ah. Well, if I were you, I'd stay out of their whole conversion war.
What is going on, if I may ask?
Oh. Well, Jeru has been here for Lord knows how long. The people have followed the old ways. After the great battle at Emery Meadows, you had some of the knights settle down and open farms, and along comes the Church of St. Cuthbert, and they don't get along very well. You know, on the one hand, you have the justice crazies. On the other hand, the pure balance crazies. And sometimes Sometimes I'm just glad to stay over here in the camp and avoid all of that. I do have to supervise, though. Thank you. He proceeds to go around and supervise.
I guess we should leave here for now.
Yeah, as we head out, I'm going to kind of whisper to these two. I think he might actually be the problem.
How so?
Wanting specific rocks, telling them to do one thing, then the other, you know.
How can we get proof then of that?
I mean, I'm not saying it is entirely his fault, just my workers don't want to work under conditions like that. And also asking for special rocks can be annoying.
I mean, I guess I can understand his passion for this project, but... well, I don't think it's exactly his sport. I could see how people would get annoyed.
You can always ask about what specific rocks you need. And why he needs them. Maybe you could ask a stonemason about it.
Like Roland?
Maybe.
If you guys want, I could go axe rolling.
I think that could be a good idea.
Yes, that's probably the best idea.
Yo.
You go, teleporting halfling. No, he'll go, hello, Sir Ilberic. What can I do to help you?
I actually wanted to ask about these special stones that John wanted. If they're from a special area or something like that. He seems very keen on having these select kind of stones.
He wants good sturdy slate for the walls and for the foundation. You can't really blame him for that. We're building a fortress. Last couple of shipments have been dark sandstone or dark limestone, which will probably be fine when we get higher up and people aren't going to hack at the walls, but down here you want solid slate for keeping everything solid. You know, avoid catapults and the like.
Gotcha.
He nods. Fortunately, I have these bits of... GM does not know enough about rocks to give a rock that's similar enough to slate. Sturdy rocks, which we can use for the foundation. They don't have the appropriate color to be properly intimidating, as Bernie would like, but it's going to... They'll do for the foundation. John handles the ordering, but I'm the one who recommends the appropriate rocks.
Is there any area nearby or closer we might be able to get them from? Or is this just a waiting for shipment kind of problem?
Well, to be honest, I'm amazed that we've had 3 wrong shipments. The first shipment being wrong should have been fixed immediately. A second one, well, maybe there was a wrong order and they fixed the order and they mistakenly issued it again. But the third one, that one's confusing. I've used these suppliers before. They tend to be much more professional than this.
Well, thank you for letting me know. If I can think of anything to help, I'll try my best.
Thank you. And if you need any stonework done, I have a queue, of course. I'm supervising the foundation and the initial laying here, and then I have some custom obelisks to work on for Jeru, and then some foundation repairs for Cuthbert for Terjan up with his temple. He did not listen to my recommendations on foundation stones. But if you're willing to wait about 6 months, I think that's about my delay on stonework. And I'll be glad to add you to the queue there.
I shall keep that in mind.
And Roland comes over, hops down, and stands next to the workman. You're doing a good job, son, but let me show you. We want to set it like this firmly against the ground, and then he shows how you dig out a little hole and kind of half bury the stone. The GM's making stuff up here thinking, that sounds like how you do it, but I don't know.
Oh dear.
Well, I'll come back, say all this, and ask if they want to possibly go to Verbal because it might be a supplier issue. Or just say, screw it, and do something else.
Well, I wouldn't mind going back to Vermont for a bit. What do you think?
I'm just thinking, could we... he's already said that. I think we might have to go back to Vermont to find out. Unless, like, we actually looked into, like, Jen Ring's office to see if we could find anything that he is sending the correct information and everything. 3 times does sound a little fishy.
Maybe we can offer to pick up the order.
They likely already sent someone.
Well then. I'm a bit at a loss. Perhaps you should still scope things out.
Scope things out, Tal?
Yeah. Yep.
So, where are you scoping out things at?
That's what I was curious.
I just meant, like, go back to Vermont and, like, oversee the order anyway.
Perhaps talking to a certain farmer might help.
Which one?
The one who needs to pull his head out of the past.
Alright. No, I don't see how that gets us anywhere.
Honestly, I don't either. I'm all for helping him, though. I think Corvin's just trying to grasp at straws.
GM side note.
No, I mostly just wanted to help him, and I'm not sure what to do for this one yet.
Oh,
I think we're just supposed to go to Vermont and see what's up. After all, it is kind of sketchy that they got the order wrong 3 times already.
So shall we head to Vermont then?
Well,
I think so.
I'm going to give you hints. Just like, where all could such an order go wrong?
On the road. Wait. Where is it delivered at?
Do you know?
No?
Yeah, where is this stuff delivered at?
Perhaps you could ask John Bean. Or Roland. Who to ask then? Well, yeah, maybe we should look at the map.
Okay. What map are you looking at?
I think he's looking at the environment map, seeing what route they might take, where it might go wrong, like if it's going wrong at Penwick or Eterbork.
I think it's somewhere here. Kid's dropping enough hints. It's somewhere here.
Well, I just want to make sure that you consider things before you run off to Verbabonk. Maybe the problem is in Verbabonk.
Wait, aren't we? Wait, according to this map, does that mean we're already in Verbabonk?
You're in the Duchy of Verbabonk, not the city of Verbabonk.
We're in Hamlet.
Yeah.
We're in Hamlet. Dang it, this map is being too hard to read again.
Or excuse me, the Viscounty of Verbabonk. In the Kingdom of Furyondi.
Okay.
And then if you really, really, really want to go for big details, you can go all the way out to the Flyness map and see Furyondi and Verbabonk and Valuda.
Oh, wait, am I looking at I'm looking at the detailed map.
Verbabonk environs?
I'm looking at Flyness.
That's the big map. That's the map of the entire world.
Whoops.
The artist looking at the map. Where are we?
Wait, so what route do they take?
Do you know?
No, I do not. It could go through Eterbork, Penrick, or it could go through Mull and Tulvar.
We would have to ask either Roland or Sean. Well, Sean is the one who does the orders.
So yeah, maybe we should go back and ask him?
Well, I guess so.
So, when you get back there, you can see Jean is sitting on a barrel reviewing some notes. You know, making little calculations. Tapping his foot. Such. He does not notice you coming.
Why, hello again.
Oh, yes, hello.
Sorry, we were wondering, like, what roads do you take from Verbach to get the shipment?
You know, I haven't asked. I know that heading out, people like to go along the side road to avoid kind of the damage that the Penwick Road has taken. So they like to head up towards Eterbork and through Verbabonk. But I imagine on the way back they'd take the road Verbabonk through Penwick, because even though they have to deal with the damaged road between Penwick and Hamlet, there's less trouble with Ettins.
Didn't we briefly get lost on that road?
Yes, we did, because of fog.
I wonder if the fog is the cause.
They're still getting the stones here, but it's the wrong kind of stones.
Where do they bring the stones to first in town?
They bring them down to... Actually, they bring them here. He comes and he gestures with you and leads you over to the side of the hill, where you can see rows and rows and rows of gray sandstone, or you assume it's gray sandstone. I assume that you don't know much about rocks, but there's lots of well-cut, stone bricks stacked over here.
Kit, I have a question.
Yes.
Since this is going to be a bit of a stretch, but I thought maybe I might be able to tell. I have proficiencies in tracking, and would that be able to identify by figuring out what kind of material it is? Maybe? It's a stretch, but I thought maybe.
No.
worth a shot.
No.
I thought you were going to try to be smart and be like, is there footprints leading away? Is someone switching it?
Actually, I could do that for around the stones if there's a lot of footprints.
There are a lot of footprints. It's almost as though there are 50 workers coming up and down this hill a lot, kind of grabbing what rocks they place here. There's relatively few around the actual sandstone, though. It's mostly towards kind of the much smaller pile of more worn, heavier rocks that people have been going to. As best you can tell, because you do have proficiency in tracking, would you go ahead and check your wisdom for me?
Okay. I succeed.
You can tell that what it looks like is a cart will pull up. A lot of people will gather around the cart and unload it. That there will generally be, it looks like, 6 more people at that time than come or leave. And then the cart goes, and then it looks like maybe 1 or 2 people come and look around, and that's the extent of the footprints.
Okay.
From which you can conclude that somewhere around 6 people arrive with the shipment, and kind of 6 other people leave. Like maybe there's a shift rotation, and some workers go in and out.
Well, shall we follow the wagon tracks to see if they're changing it in any other location?
The wagons head out of town that way.
Wait, wasn't that the way where bandits are at?
Yes. Are you
No, wait, the
thinking-
wagons would have come from the Penwick Road, which is to the north.
Yeah, there was kind of a side road around Hamlet that you could have taken, but since you were going to Hamlet, you didn't. You suspect that they might drive the stones around the town rather than through the town.
That's still a little weird, except for the little ford there. The ford.
Is anyone proficient with nature or some such thing?
I have hunting.
I have merchant.
Hey, Miss Merchant, make a wisdom check.
Oh dear.
I have barter, not merchant.
I failed.
Okay. You can make an intelligence check. Probably should have been intelligence rather than wisdom in the first place in hindsight.
That beats my intelligence.
You know that wagons carrying heavy shipments tend to get mired down in fords like that.
So going to the fords is no-no.
Yeah, so you definitely would not want to try to ride a heavy shipment of stones across that ford.
Yeah, the wagon wouldn't want to go to the ford because, well, the wagon would get mired and then the shipment could get damaged.
Could the stones be damaged that way?
Pretty sure they could. Especially if you want a specific stone.
As you're looking here, talking,
But that must mean that it must take an alternate road.
Jean will nod and say, yes, they take the side road through the swamp because it's got a lot of wood bridges which support the weight better than the ford.
Should we walk down that path and check it out?
Jean Tess looks at you. Why? We've never had any problems on the path. If we did, we'd know. We have workmen coming in and out with every shipment. I mean, I wouldn't worry about it if I were you. This is obviously just Rufus and Bernie being paranoid about something. Everything's a rush. Castles aren't built overnight, you know. If you'll be needing anything else, well, I'm going to have to do some calculations, make sure that we have enough money to pay everyone. Are you sure that you don't want to help lay stone?
I'm sure.
Okay, well, I'll be doing some calculations. And then he heads off, actually this way, to the north off the campsite. Or off the site.
So what now?
Do we investigate the path that they're taking?
I think we should.
If that's what you two would like to do.
If there's danger, though, then perhaps we should need a plan for a quick getaway.
Run.
Alright, that sounds good enough.
Okay.
So I think we're gonna like take that alternate road around town.
Okay. So, you don't have to go very far off of the map to reach this alternate road. It's not as good as the main road through town. It's not paved. It's generally dirt and gravel, and you can imagine after rain it gets quite muddy, especially as it's running through a swamp. But you can see very quickly as you follow it that there are mostly these... There are lots and lots of these long wooden bridges that are kind of laying in the ground. The ground's a little soft and spongy. These wooden bridges kind of sink and rise as you walk, but you can tell they're stable, steady, and they would distribute weight very effectively across the way. Would you kindly roll me a d12 of someone?
I got it.
Yeah. And as you head around, you eventually reach back to the main road through Penther to Verbabank. And it's back to that nice paved cobblestone road that you encountered earlier.
Wish I knew what kind of stones they put down here.
The stones are a smooth, sort of white, chalky stone.
I don't know what slate is supposed to look like.
Slate's kind of hard and black.
So this can't be slate.
If it's not hard and black, it's hard and black in my world. The biggest, blackest slate.
I don't know. I guess that we just have to, like, be at the shipment when it arrives or something.
I don't think slate is super hard, non-refined, but refined it's pretty hard, if I remember right.
And this would definitely be the refined, blocked slate that they'd be getting.
Does sound like pretty difficult to screw up an order that important, but that much hard work put into it.
Well, since you just want to be here when there the shipment coming, shall we go help others?
Yes, I believe that's all we could do for now. What about you, Corbin?
I agree. I'm not sure what else we can try at the moment.
So we would be coming back in from the north, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
You will be coming back in from the north.
We never really checked around this area. We could just go to the different houses side of the river stream thing. Oh, campsite. Yay.
Yeah, I just realized that I've never really described where the campsite is, and you can see it. There's lots of tents there.
Where might Toki go?
I moved you to the north.
Yep.
Where's everyone else's tokens?
He ran a little bit ahead.
I was trying to move up.
Tom's a little slow.
It's hard to find you guys. I'm zoomed out farther.
I'm sorry, I saw my GM note about your rug. Again. It might be written right where you're standing. You can't see it, I can.
We need to identify that.
I kept trying to tell Tom I really want to know what the rug is, and he's like, why? 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 And your reactions are why.
In before, it's a rug of prestidigitation that keeps itself clean.
That's fine. My character would love it.
I like to do the evil laugh for mundane things.
I'm going like, I pour out my very heart and soul into this rug, so I never need to wash it.
Sounds like someone was just being lazy.
Well, you'll find out when you identify it, assuming that the check is made appropriately.
We better do good when we have cash.
I love that you can fail identify in 2nd edition.
Oh god, that's going to be so horrible, because Liara's going to look at it and be like, I don't pass out.
No, I do believe she passes out in either case.
Well, yeah, in this case, though, she won't even know. So it's not like she has an amazing story to tell us. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's a rug.
I also love that Liara can't cast identify without passing out.
Too much of a drain.
Oh.
So, what are you all intending to do as you head back into town?
This old man, Orb Snout, still sitting on his porch.
Yep. Still sitting at his porch being like, don't come on my property.
From the distance, do you need help with anything, sir? We were trying to get to know the locals and thought we would help out.
The GM has forgotten what number I am, so he doesn't remember anything but my personality. Grumble, grumble, grah. Well, as the GM's double checking, he thinks he knows the answer. I think I know the answer. No. I do well enough. My flock grazes nicely. I don't have any problems. I like to stay here and keep care of my sheep.
If you need anything, just let us know.
He nods and kind of pulls out a pipe and begins smoking.
So we know to our rights trader, we know the... Liara doesn't know this. This building, Antonio, well, Liara, is the money exchange.
So, is it actually a bank, or...?
It is not a bank, it's a money changer.
Okay.
They also deal with gems and such, and can make us jewelry, if need be.
Also, I do actually have a question that we might want to ask sometime. Why does everybody have dogs?
I already asked that question when we first came.
I don't know.
And I was like, Corvin's going to fit in here.
I'll be honest with you guys, a lot of my neighbors own dogs, so I think it's just, well, they'd have dogs.
At least with Orb Snout, it's probably because he has a flock of sheep, and they're probably herd dogs.
Yeah, some dogs are trained as guard dogs, some dogs are trained to herd sheep.
Sir and Roa are definitely scary, intimidating guard dogs. They kind of lean forward and growl whenever you approach the money changer.
Sometimes it usually depends on the breed.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Shall
there's
we?
more breeds, but I don't have them prepared.
Shall we head down this route to see who lives this way, or go down and head up and around?
How about down, then up?
Yeah, let's go with that.
I literally just took a screenshot of my keyless map that you see instead of my keyed map. Like
Whoops.
a moron. One of these days I'll be intelligent. I swear I have an IQ of 156. I swear it, Mama.
No, we should drop that. You want an IQ of like 80.
My sister had an IQ of 80. My little brother has an IQ of 75, but he can still learn calculus, so no one has a fucking excuse. He's not even autistic or anything. He just was like, I'm gonna learn calculus like my big brother. And he did it! He sucks at it, but he can do it!
Yay!
Yay. So what building are you looking at?
The one to the left of the coin trader, this one.
Sure. So that is a small house with a nicely painted sign on the front that shows a shield and a chest of drawers.
Possibly armor smith. Well, not smith, but shop. Or security.
It shows a shield and a chest of a painted shield and a chest of drawers.
And a chest of drawers.
That should be noted. The it's not like, oh, here's a sign with a shield painted on it. The sign is a shield painted with a chest of drawers.
Oh.
No.
So it might just be the miscellaneous shop. Or furniture. Well, knocking on the door.
And a boy opens. Hello, how might I help you today?
We were new to the area, going around to see if anyone needs any assistance with anything. And was curious of what kind of place your home is. I didn't understand the sign.
We are the cabinet maker. Or my master is the cabinet maker. I'm Bay, I'm his apprentice. And he also decorates shields as a hobby, which is why his sign is a shield.
Ah, that makes sense.
He's generally willing to do anything on a commission. As far as things he might need, you'd want to talk to Master Knox about that.
May we come in?
Come on in. And as you sort of predicted outside, you can see a man sitting there working very focused and steadily on sanding the corners of a table. He's doing a very intricate sort of flower pattern into the edge.
I think this might be relevant to the quest from last session.
Are you talking about the woodsmith person looking for wood carvers?
Something like that.
Well, excuse me, sir.
He does not look up from his work as he says, "Hello. How are you? What can I do for you?"
I'm fine. My friends and I were new, and to get to know people, we're walking around seeing if anyone needed assistance with anything. Might you be in need of any assistance?
You know what? Yes, I do. Yes, I could be. Could you come here one moment?
I'll walk over to him.
He will say, "Good. Hold this up like this for just one moment." As he kind of holds the thing up and puts your hand there.
I shall hold it raw in my eyes.
He will lean under and say, "Good," and he'll take a little knife and he'll make a few little cuts and chip away some wood and say, "Wonderful, now it bends under. I don't suppose you'd be willing to do that for another 2 or 3 hours while I head around the side of the table?"
We were hoping to go help others. Do you need any other assistance? Well, we kind of do anything. Finding something you lost, maybe need a shipment, stuff like that.
He leans back and shakes his head. "No, I generally do quite well for myself. Bay is a wonderful apprentice. He can do most of the boring, large-scale work and leave the enjoyment of decorating to me. We're never really overworked and we're never really underworked. I've built most, and I am, of course, the greatest artist in town. I've done most of the signs here myself, with the exception of the traders. They brought their sign with them when they set up shop a few years back. And, well, I've also done most of the furniture. If you ever manage to sit in a nice, comfortable, fine wooden chair, it's almost certainly my work. I didn't catch your name.
Sir Ilbrick.
Liara.
I'm Corbin.
Liara, Corvin, and Sir Ilbrick. A knight, eh?
Guilty as charged.
Well, I am Master Nox Bouldertrap. Properly trained and granted my mastery at the finest cabinet decorating guilds in Greyhawk herself. No longer a member, though. The guild doesn't hold sway here, and there's no sense paying the fee.
Sorry for going quiet, was laughing outside of character.
Nox will smile and say, "Bay, can I have you hold this up for me for a few hours?" And Bay comes in and says, "Of course, master," and kind of shimmies under where you are and sits down and supports up the table on his shoulders. Bay is taller than you and is kind of clearly uncomfortable physically doing this, but is eager, kind of craning his neck trying to watch as Nox works. And Nox has not shut up. Nox is going on about previous works he's done for nobility and important individuals.
I will lean into Bay's ear and say if he ever needs anything to search me out, I'm sorry, I need to go. Because I'm not listening to Nox.
And as you go, he's going to whisper his head and go, "Master Nox is so clever."
I feel sorry for this boy.
Well, the day is not getting any younger, so I shall be taking my leave. It was nice meeting you, Sir Nox.
Of course. Nice meeting you too, Miss Liara Soren.
I'm just going to eye him for a moment. I hope to see you at service before turning around and quickly following.
And on your way out, you can see underneath the door, or above the door on the inside, the telltale symbols of a follower of the old faith.
Breathe in, breathe out.
I like to imagine Liara saw this, leaned over, grabbed Corvin, tried to be comforting.
And then Corvin goes from anger to, I'm fine.
As he looks at Carrington. All right, Carrington. We need to help these people.
I wonder if that boy would be interested working as a carpenter for a while.
I feel like he's too enamored with Nox. Rest his soul.
But they both work with wood, so it'd probably be a good experience for him.
It should be noted, by the way, that in this region, this is something you'd all know, an apprentice is more or less not a slave, but they don't end their apprenticeship, their master does. So you wouldn't ask Bay if he wanted to work with the carpenter. You would ask
Nox. You would ask Nox for permission for him to work at the carpenters.
Yes. And any agreement over Bay's services and pay would go to Nox instead of Bay. It's like being a slave, but Bay can always just go, screw this, I'm done, and leave.
But he seems to be taken in by Nox.
Yeah. Well, you saw that there was very nice furniture in there. With many wonderful leaf motifs.
Well, what about the building to our right?
That building right there is a modest cottage.
I guess I'll go up and knock.
As you go up and knock, you don't get an immediate response. And you can hear sounds coming around on the other side of the building.
Well, shall we head back there?
Sounds like a plan.
And what you see a man, an older man, 2 adults, 2 younger men, maybe, 13 or 14, and an older woman, all sitting around in a circle, working a number of potter's wheels, shaping pottery. And every now and then the man will go to one of the younger ones and say, fetch more clay, and the younger one will kind of hurry out over this way to a well, pull some water up, dump it off to the side where there's this little dugout clay pit, slop mud into a bucket and bring it back and give it to whoever needs it. It's a very well-oiled sort of operation.
I don't think these people need any help, but shall we still introduce ourselves?
Yes. Hello there.
One moment, he says, as he raises up a tall little neck of what he's working on and then sets it aside. Turning to you, he reaches out and grabs your hand with one of his hands wet with clay and, thick and sticky. And he says, hello, I'm Milveg Downwhirl. Welcome to my home. I don't believe we've met.
Oh, sorry.
I don't believe we've met.
Oh, we have not, good sir. My name is Liara Soran.
Wonderful, welcome. Are you a representative from the merchants in Verbabunk?
No.
I'm expecting them in the next couple of days. I have their shipment almost ready to go. He gives a great big smile. And believe you me, my wife will be grateful to see it gone. She's getting tired of camping outside to leave room for the finished pottery. So what can I do for you?
Oh no, we're new in town. We were just going around and introducing ourselves.
Well, I have a question, and this is an important question. Are you part of
Yes?
Are you a part of the congregation?
That's a congregation.
A
A
congregation.
church.
Yeah.
No.
He puts his hand in his hand. Another poor heretic seduced by leaves and berries, are you?
Finally,
these are the
someone
church.
talks sense here.
He turns, he looks at you and says, I have seen you at the temple.
Yes, Corbin would have his holy symbol out around his neck.
As you take your holy symbol out, he kind of pats down his apron and pulls out a small holy symbol. Clearly not a cleric's. It's clearly a layman's symbol. It's made out of what looks like fine white porcelain. And he holds it not in his sticky, muddy hands, but in a piece of cloth that he had wrapping it, and says, it's good to see another person who understands the importance of law and justice and defending the world against evil.
Yes, I am Billet Corvin. Nice to meet you. I'm actually hoping to do a sermon at the church in the next few days.
Well, I look forward to hearing it. I'm Werwill. I am a potter. Not many buy my wares here. The heretics don't care for us. But my wares travel out through Verbabonk, Ferondi, and Greyhawk and beyond.
Very, very nice to meet you. Yes, we're going around town trying to just meet and greet everyone, and I was also hoping to find out who follows the church and who prefers, as you said, leaves and berries.
Well, to be honest, there's not as many of us as there should be. I follow the church. The Nihlus follow the church. A few others around town, but the bulk of the people follow the old ways. This has been a village of the old ways since I've heard before, since ages past. One would think with the uprisings of evil a decade ago that they would have learned, but no. They view the whole thing as part of the natural order. Or some hippie garbage like that.
There's no place for evil in the natural order.
Good luck telling the druids that. They'll spin you some yarn about disease and decay and new soil or some nonsense like that. Please, let me give you a gift, sir. Let me give you a gift. He hurries into the house and brings out a small, smooth, earthenware bowl that's been glazed over a nice, sensible gray. He says, these they don't like too much, but I like to provide a few of them for simplicity's sake, and you seem like a man who respects simplicity.
Indeed.
Do you take his gift?
Yes.
You now have a gray earthenware bowl.
Yay.
Well, I really should get back to work. If you need any flasks or bottles, just let me know. We make them not out of glass, but out of earthenware, but they're still very, very firm and good for storing liquids for long periods of time. And if you hear any word about the merchants, I was expecting them yesterday and they haven't arrived yet.
Where were they supposed to come from?
Oh, these men are coming in from Greyhawk, actually. Coming in from the east.
To the east.
Yes.
I heard rumors of bandits to the east.
Oh, there are always rumors of bandits to the east and troublemakers out towards Nulb. But the merchants never seem to have trouble getting through. Whoever they are, they're too cowardly to strike at armed caravans. He gives you a little smile and a laugh.
Well, perhaps I can bother you for one more question, as I'm going to point over this way. What is over here?
What is this way?
The house to the southwest.
This area?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, he says, oh, well, that's the Braumeister's home. He is a friendly enough fellow, but he is old faith, unfortunately. Still, his youngest son has seen the right way.
That's good to hear, at least.
Yes, it's just a matter of making sure that it takes and isn't just youthful rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you want good beer, you go talk to them. Just be warned. They can drink, and everyone there can drink anyone under the table. Well, except for Grevin himself. No one can drink Grevin under the table. He's the brewmeister.
Alright. Well, it was nice meeting you.
And it was a pleasure meeting you too.
Have a safe day.
And you too. So what is going on over there, huh?
Well, we're waiting for Corbin. Unless he doesn't want to come.
Corvin is now a potter.
I have found my true calling in life. Pottery.
I shall make a club
Boing.
and smash people's heads with it.
That's what I just did. Boink.
So you're heading down towards the Braumeisters.
I guess they might need help.
As you approach, you see a dog.
Not another one.
So you can see here, this is a very typical wooden cottage, not quite impressive. But to the south is an imposing stone building. You know, it looks like it's 2 stories tall. The rock is jet black. And instead of a sign, there's a large barrel that's hanging from a number of iron chains.
I never knew a brewery could be a little bit intimidating.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's the Doom Skull Brewery.
This brewery would do well in Mad Max. Well, I guess I'm going to check the cottage first.
On the door, there's a sign saying, "At work. Please visit brewery." Signed, Grevin Doomskull.
Well, looks like we're visiting the brewery first.
I wonder if this dog is guarding.
The dog is sitting outside by the door to the brewery. And it's not like he's in a guard pose as much as lying around going, panting and smiling. And as you go over, it looks up and goes, woof, woof.
I'm going to go over and pet him.
And as you do, he's going to lean back and go, woof, woof.
Well, I'll go knock on. Well, actually, I'll just open it since it said to go here. I'm not going to knock.
And as you do, you notice the door isn't even latched. It's just kind of open. And
Cool.
as you step in, you can see that this intimidating black building, the southern side of it is pretty much wide open to the air. And you can see there's rows and rows of these huge vats full of liquid. And you can see a number of people all stirring them together, while one particularly rotund person walks from vat to vat, taking a cup, going in, taking a sip, and going, no, we need to add a few more hops, or you have too many, water it down. So on and so forth, as he goes.
Yeah. I guess I'll go and go say hi. Hello, sir.
He's going to turn, he's going to look at you and say, I do not know you. Are you here to sample the new ale?
Well, I was coming by, new here to see if you needed help with anything as we want to get to know the locals, but I wouldn't mind a sample.
Well, come here. I recognize who you are from your description, okay. And it's probably unwise to charge a fee to the Butcher of Elgrath. He offers you a small cup, not a full cup, but, maybe an inch or two of beer on the bottom of a cup as he passes it over to you.
I'll happily try it and savor the flavor.
It's an exceptionally fine pumpkin ale.
Quite lovely. Might have to grab some sometime.
He smiles and says, yes, I want it to finish fermenting. I think we cracked this keg a little early, but I think if we give it another couple months, it's going to be perfect. I, my lord, am Grevin Doomskull. Please don't mind the name. My grandfather was a fool.
No, nothing wrong with names like such.
Well,
though out of character, I find the names between us a little funny. Proudmead being the butcher and Doomskull being the brewer.
God damn it, I should have seen that and named him Proudmead, and then you could have been like, I'm a Proudmead, you're a Proudmead, I'm from the Westchester Proudmeans. Oh, those human scum. I didn't even realize that when I gave him his name. I'm just like, oh, let's give him a funny, intimidating name.
I like it, though.
Well, what can I do you for?
Me and my companions who got infuriated with your dog, infatuated, sorry, wrong word. We were just wondering if you might need any assistance with anything as we try to get to know the locals, help out.
He kind of furrows his brow and says, well, if you can talk some sense into my son Yosef, that would be wonderful. Fool's gone running off with those St. Cuthbert cudgel smashers.
Twitches.
You're outside of the dog.
Calm down.
My inner Cuthbert senses are tingling. Who dare blasphemes?
I mean, the priests are nice enough folk, but I can't stomach my son going on to such stuff. There's a balance to the world, and if you don't understand the balance of the world, how can you have the balance of your beer?
Yes, well, if I see him as I pass by, I'll talk to him about it. Besides, one should focus on their craft.
He nods and says, yes, well, my son's over there working on the winter ale. And if we're fortunate, it'll be ready by spring.
Well, we're going to stay in town for a few months.
Well, he leans over and pats you on the shoulder. If you want my beverages, they are mostly down at the inn.
Thank you for letting me know.
Gives you a great big beaming smile, then goes over and says, Yosef, keep it properly balanced. It'll grow more bitter with time.
Shall we talk to the kid now, guys?
To the what?
The kid. I feel like Corvin will try to kill me if I try to talk this kid out of religion. But my character is kind of not really... You don't need to follow a religion, just do what you do.
Did somebody say heresy?
Okay, yeah, let's go. Let's go.
I don't feel like...
But conversion! This child obviously needs help.
He's following your church already. Leave him alone.
But what if they try to talk him out of it? He needs to understand the truth of things. It could be very important. Just like as he's fading the song, right? Wouldn't you like to join the Church of St. Cuthbert, little puppers? See, the puppy agrees.
Bite. Puppy
Good.
Certainly does not agree.
It probably wouldn't get past Corvin's armor, to be honest.
No, it was a test. He had to make sure that I was not evil. If I was evil, he would have been able to harm me.
What we're saying is that Corvin is a fanatic who's terrified women and delusional.
Yeah, maybe if I end up pulling the character, I'll just make him a follower of the old way and just see what happens.
You know,
Let the religious debates begin.
Corvin was supposed to get crazier over time, but he seems to be getting crazier over the hours.
Yep. But like, my character wouldn't even be like a cleric or anything. He'd just be like someone who's like, oh yeah, I like the old way. His ideas are nice.
Their ideas of if you're weak, fuck you, are lovely.
Meanwhile, Liara is not sure if she should get involved.
So where are you headed off to?
I went up to this area.
Yeah, I'm just wanting to make sure that I'm lined up appropriately. I think I missed a particular area. It shouldn't be too tough to find, though. Yes. So you're approaching a well-kept cottage with a large barn. And as you approach, you can smell a strong odor of earth and waste.
Well, shall we continue on?
Sounds good.
Ebert says, half jokingly.
Wait, what does it smell like again?
Earth and waste.
Right. Maybe this is where they stockpiled the manure?
Like cows.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been around
Oh god.
cows. Yeah, Tom knows the smell I'm talking about.
Oh dear god.
The smell that you hate because it makes you hungry, but you also want to throw up.
I lived in the middle of a farming area. I smelled this thing like every day during growing season.
Yeah.
I would also have to in the morning.
can't remember.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Jim. There was a static.
Oh, I was just saying I actually heard roosters in the morning sometime while walking to work. Like, when I lived in the city, I thought that was just a joke, and then I moved there and realized it wasn't.
Chicken coop.
Gosh, I used to love going to visit the family farm in Indiana on summers because the chickens would wake you up at sunrise, which is a good 45 minutes later than the Air Force Base would wake you up with reveille.
So better by the chicken than the airplane.
Oh, it was reveille, you know. It goes. My apartment is closer than my childhood home was to that horn that goes and plays reveille, and so I get woken up by reveille every day. My son likes it. My daughter will wake up, open her window, lean out, shout, "Shut up!" and then shut the window and go back to bed.
Does it ever work?
Of course not. It's not like there's an actual bugler. It's a recording, man.
Yeah.
But they both love Retreat just as much as I do, though, because it's just, Retreat is cool. I don't care that it's lame because it's the national anthem. It's still cool just to hear it echoing through the little valley at, 4:30 in the afternoon. It's especially cool if you can get yourself in a position to see the base and watch as all of the cars are going, "Oh crud, it's 4:29," and gunning it, trying to get off of base before they have to stop and get out of their cars for retreat. You can see all the civilians pissed off as they're getting out of their cars going grumble, 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 grumble. Because they all have to stop on base and get out of their cars and turn to face the flag and salute. But if they get off the base, they don't have to do that, and they'll just go. And sometimes you get one of the guards who... Sometimes the guards will troll the people and start getting very slow on checking IDs on the way out of base, so that the people trying to get off of base before retreat get stuck. It's great. I used to always just hang around until 5:30, so I didn't have to deal with the retreat nonsense at all, because if I'm inside in my office, then... "Oh, I can't hear anything. What are you talking about? I didn't know retreat happened. I'm in the basement of a brick building. I can't hear anything." I missed that job. That was a fun job. But yes, it's a place that smells of cow.
Seems like a simple barn. If you would like to meet all the locals, we can go in. Now we can continue on.
I think I'll pass. I'm not used to cow smell.
Liara was raised by a rich merchant. She doesn't need these scents.
I don't need to smell cows. Cows smell terrible. And as you approach here, you can see another fairly sizable barn. This one has a padlock on the door.
Well, it's just a barn, so... What is this? Looks like the watermill.
It is a watermill! Wow! It's a watermill with a little house attached. And now we're in the GM didn't make his tokens area.
I realize, if I go over to the water, are there any fish by chance?
Make a spot check. There aren't spot checks in 2nd edition, crud. So you go. We'll go ahead and say you're looking at the water, and you do see some fish. Yes.
Well, I was just wondering because I have fishing nets.
You do have fishing nets. Are you going to cast fishing nets into the river by the miller?
No, I was just curious. Was it just for something later if we need it?
Curvin's like, I don't need to pay 5 copper a day for food. I have fish.
Okay, so what are you all doing?
I don't know.
Well, right now I'm just trying to find the tailor.
You're just trying to find the tailor.
We haven't explored any of this place, and we were talking to people, but now I'm just like, I want to find the tailor. He has a help wanted thing.
You can see here a cottage and a small barn.
Nah. Any sign on the cottage or nah?
There is no sign on the cottage.
Slowly I'm wanting to more and more just help Spug Noir.
Shall we go talk to Smug Noir then?
You know, I think there was a part of town that we did miss the first time around.
Yeah, we really didn't check the down here at all.
Or here, I don't think.
These two buildings.
Or all of this.
We looked at it, we just didn't go to it.
Yeah. Pretty much everywhere you've been, I think I left the people visible. So.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
We really should have just asked for directions.
Yes, let's ask a help wanted for directions to the tailor.
Well, you could always just knock on a random door and ask.
Wait, is this the barn or the house I'm walking to?
That is the house.
Okay.
We're again in the region where I didn't make my tokens because I thought you were leaving, not exploring.
Whoops.
You're
Well,
all
you
like,
said-
we're gonna leave, and then you're like, we're gonna listen to the GM and explore.
Well, I wanted to explore. It's just Tom wasn't feeling the game, and Antonio wanted to go with Spug Noir, and they were like, Chim, do what you want. And I was like, I don't want to get experience alone.
Yeah, and it's fine. This is cool. I'm just like, grr, I prepared the wrong thing. And now you have to wait for me.
No, that is part of our fault. We were making plans, and then we forgot to get another character on it.
Well, the other
And there was the money issue. You cannot get the hirelings without the chainmail. You do not have enough gold for the chainmail.
Well, that's only one. We can get the other people. It's just they would require shares and such.
They want shares. Elbow wants a big share and chainmail.
Yeah.
It's like it's secretly a level 10.
Elmo better be really good if he's gonna ask for that much. A big share, some chainmail, and an axe.
So when you knock on the door, a fairly attractive-looking girl opens up the door, half-elven, clearly, and she looks at you, kind of down her nose, and says, "Yes, hello."
Hello, I'm Sor Obrick. We were just going around meeting the locals, and I was curious. We were a little lost. Do you know where Nimble Fingers resides in town?
Oh, yes, of course. One moment. And she heads back into the home. And she comes back again with a dress and puts it into your arms. Yes, Nimblefinger is across the river, and I'll be very grateful for you to deliver my dress. It needs rehemming.
Okay.
She pats you on your head. Such a good child. She smiles, and then she looks like, wait, sir. She leans back. You're a knight.
That I am.
She gives a little wink. Well, I expect your chivalry will mean that I'm going to get my dress back a little bit quicker than one would expect from him, huh? For me? She's very clearly trying to manipulate you with her beauty and has no clue how to do it. She's just crossing her arms and saying, you're going to bring my dress back sooner, right?
I don't mind taking it there for you, but I'm not sure if I will have time to bring it back.
I thought knights were chivalrous. His
name is Sir Ilbert Proudmead.
I don't think she knows.
She looks
You
back.
two didn't know it till earlier. Shut up.
She just looks over and says, yes, he's a knight. Knights are chivalrous and wealthy. And I'm the most beautiful woman in this town. Everyone says so. Nonetheless, Nimblefingers is right across the ford in his small, dirty little shack. Tell him to do it right this time.
All right.
And she will just shut the door.
I mean, we're heading there anyway. Might as well be a little nice.
Oh, isn't she lovely?
Honestly, I think Belle looks better than her.
That's an insult. Wow.
She looks more like an eldritch abomination than a person. But that's just me.
Well, Corvin hates women.
Here I was only meaning that, like,
Kit got it, though. I'm so happy.
I got what?
The insult saying Belle looks better.
Just, oh my. Such a fellow.
By Christmas 17, I could probably insult people and they'll be like, oh, he's so nice.
Well, you can see a particularly small little hut over here.
Well, I'll go knock.
Voice comes from inside. You can come on in. It's not locked.
Then I shall enter.
And you can see a man inside who is, well, sitting at his small table in his small chair, working at sewing away on a shirt that's far too large for him.
Why, hello there. Do you happen to be Nimblefingers?
He looks up and says, I, Janwen Nimblefingers. And he looks up and for the first time he sees you and says, Oi, another one. It's stressful being the only one in town.
Oh, is he a halfling?
Yes, he is.
Yay!
He hops over and just comes out and gives you a big hug. And starts speaking to you in the halfling tongue that you will know because you are a halfling.
Okay, yeah. Oh. For a second, I couldn't remember if I do know it or not, because I think I have to choose.
You get it. You get it.
Okay.
As he's just going to And he's just going to be starting to rattle off complaints about all the tall folk and their bigotry and how they always call him cute, the cute little imp tailor, blah, 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 blah. Just rolling his eyes the entire time.
I'm going to mention the girl across the river in Halfling and how she was a bitch and gave me this dress. Like, oh, you should bring it back to me. Like, I'm not her manservant.
He's going to look at the dress. He's going to give a little smile and say, I'll take it back to her. And you get the sense of, oh, this guy likes her.
I shall set the dress down for him.
He looks over and he smiles and he starts hemming it, leaving his previous work alone, as he says, so, what do you need to do for me? Are you just here to deliver Kate's dress?
The only other thing was, we saw you wanted help getting in with the militia.
He looks up and says, yes, I've been here for 10 years. I am skilled with knives, I'm skilled with crossbows, I'm skilled with slings. I fought in the war. And these big folk go, oh, well, you're too small to join the militia. There are children 14 years of age, barely taller than I am. They're allowed in the militia. But that jerk Rinval, he won't hear of it.
Where is this?
I'm going to go up to Sir Elbrick and say, this might be a good time to use your title.
I was thinking the same thing.
He looks at his title.
Sir Elbrick Proudmead at your service.
He's going to stop and he's going to go, oh. Well, sir, I apologize for Kate's behavior, and I'm sure that she meant nothing of it.
I'm going to wave it off. Oh, it's fine.
Yes, of course. Well, I mean, I'm sure you have more important things to do. Yes.
Really, he's not that bad. He's adorable. And he's a fairly good traveling companion. As I move over and casually just ruffle his hair playfully.
And Jonwin's going to look at you with shock.
Oh dear, Corbin.
He's going to say to Sir Elbrick in Halfling, how can you put up with that insult? He called you the A word.
I know. I can't even talk. He's too loud.
Did we break Tom?
He's doubled over in laughter right now. He fell off his chair.
Well, that's your punishment for making Corbin a racist, woman-fearing, religious fanatic.
Oh dear.
He's literally, like, on the floor, holding onto the, like, futon thing to not fall over. You would think he's, like, dying, if not for the laughter.
Oh dear. I've been disconnected.
Oh no! New Mexico strikes again!
The R is just zoning out. That's what the disconnection is. She's like, I'm not paying attention to this.
I like to imagine the Yara just has no clue that this is insulting to a halfling.
It's insulting to me in real life. I actually have people call me adorable and cute.
You are adorable.
Shut up, Tom.
Dear.
I hate it.
Oh dear, Corbin, you shouldn't treat a knight like that. I say as I pat Corbin's head.
In Halfling, I'm going to say the only reason he lives outside of his plate mail underneath that robe is the fact he can cure us.
Yeah, I kind of actually do like that. You can't see it underneath all of his robes and stuff, but he's fully decked out in armor.
Janowin's going to nod and say, well, may he sleep lightly. But yes,
Before we go, you mentioned someone who wasn't going to let you in the militia. I could probably change his mind. After all, I was knighted from a war.
well, it's Rinville Emberstriker. He lives on the south side of town with his wife. And they farm across the road from their home. He's the captain of the militia, you see.
I shall have a talk with him.
Okay. Thank you very much, my lord.
Anytime I help another half. And most of this is in halfling, so the other two can't.
So from everyone else's perspective, there's been a very formal, friendly conversation in halfling. Which I don't think either of you speak, do you?
Nope.
I kept one more free language left. 2 more free languages, but I'm wondering if I should or should not.
Going once?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I would have picked up on it.
Okay. For viewers, Liara has opted to retroactively know languages at times because the character is extremely well learned and worldly. And I forget exactly what BS you did that let me say yes, but I said yes, so I'll live with it. I'm just informing people that you get to pick your languages as
I go.
Yes.
Though, despite being learned and worldly, Liara is still racist enough to not know halfling.
Maybe it's because her father didn't let her. Who knows?
Yeah, you could always be my older brother. Spent half his time over the last 10 years in the Middle East hanging out with Middle Eastern princes. Still wears a shirt that says in Arabic, I'm the infidel your mom warned you about.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah. Every time he goes over there and comes back, I'm amazed that he isn't killed by somebody. Just because that's the sort of person he is.
So, what now?
Was going to go to the house of the guy, but now I'm trying to remember which. I just remember being told south.
It's on the southernmost side of town. This is the directions you were given.
So, would you like to handle this alone, or would you need us to back you up in case?
Yeah, you can still be there because we still need to meet them. It's either going to be here or here.
This is the Nihlu home, home to the Nihlu brother who isn't in mourning.
Yes, would we still need to help the other one? No, actually, I'll go knock on the door.
Okay. And the door will open, and Genevieve will say, "Oh, Sir Ilberic, I'm so sorry, we just put away tea."
Oh, no, it's fine. I'm not here to stay. I was actually in the area looking for Ember Striker, if you could point me in the right direction.
And Genevieve will lean out and say, "Oh, the Ember Striker family? They are right down that way. Rival is probably in his field about now, with Iowa, his manservant." She points down this way.
Thank you. I hope you have a lovely day.
And you too. Perhaps you should stop by for dinner sometime.
That sounds lovely.
And as you head down that way, you can see a pair of men at work in the fields on the south side of the road.
Well,
and as you approach, one of them will stop and look up and meet you in the eye and stop working.
why, hello there.
He looks you square in the eye. He drops down, puts his hands on his knees, and looks in your eyes.
Oh.
Hell,
Says, "So, why are you in the master's field?"
we were looking for Renville.
He'll stand up tall and go, "Master, there's a midget here for you." And an older man will kind of walk along, grumbling, smacking dirt off his hands, and he'll come over and look down at you. "Aye, what do you need?"
Well, my name is Sir Ilbrick, and I was in the area with my companions, not only trying to meet the locals, but I wanted to talk to you about something.
"What's my fool of a son done this time?"
Oh no, not that. It was actually about someone named Nimblefingers. He told me he wasn't allowed in the militia, and I was curious as to why.
"He's too short, he's too small. Never gonna be strong enough to hold up a good shield." "You should know this. You're one of his kind."
I've been in a war, and I've been knighted for my duty.
He's going to look at you and he's going to say, "What? Knighted? A halfling knight?"
Have you not heard of Sir Ilbrick Proudmead, Butcher of Eglath?
He's going to stop, and his face is going to fall.
I just got disconnected.
Everyone got disconnected.
Yay!
No, just you two. Okay, that means it's your problem, not mine.
Yay!
You can reconnect whenever you want.
He's going through it right now. Two.
Do you need us to take a break while you troubleshoot internets?
No, I have internet fine. I'm back in the server now.
Okay. So, he's going to just look and his face is going to fall. "Eglath, that was quite an affair. I hear it was a monster of a man who slaughtered those civilians and put that rebellion down."
Sorry, my thing froze, so I'm going to purposely disconnect or reconnect.
You're not connected.
Oh, it said I was.
Now you're connected.
There it is.
Like, it completely froze, is what.
Ah. So,
Not sure why. Well, we all had a duty to do at that time. I don't appreciate having to take lives, but I had to, and someone my size is capable of fighting, as the title might say.
so you know the butcher.
I am the butcher.
He's going to look at you, look over to Ioe, and look back at you and say, "No, the butcher's a monster of a man." This would be a wonderful time to roll charisma.
All right.
Roll a one.
Let's see. Trying to beat a 17.
Wouldn't one be good?
That would be very good. And that 2 there is almost as good as a 1. As he says this and then looks at you, and what are you doing?
crossing my arms, looking very upset that they're being so like, oh, you're small, you're one of them. Glaring.
He's going to just kind of take a step back and say, oh my. Oh my. Well, I mean, so you may be experienced as a soldier, but that doesn't mean Janwan is. He's a tailor. He spends his day with a needle.
Did you ever even check to see if he was?
I mean, we gave him the spear like everyone else uses, and he had trouble lifting it.
There's other weapons, and actually we tend to be proficient in things like crossbows and daggers. He could be a wonderful archer or crossbowman.
He says, well, yeah, I suppose we could, to please such a noble knight, I mean, we could give him a chance in archery. He'd have to provide his own equipment. We don't carry crossbows in the militia.
That would be fine. At least give him a chance. If he fails of his own accord, then nothing wrong.
He nods and says, oh, of course. I will take your words under advisement, my lord.
Now, if you ever need help with anything, me and my companions were actually offering our service. Don't be afraid to come by the inn and ask of it.
Well, I suppose. Well, my son Elmo's an alcoholic, and my other son Otis ran off years ago to join some mercenary band. If you can find a way to sober Elmo up, or find Otis and get him home, I'd be appreciative.
I shall try both for you. I do enjoy helping others, after all.
Well, a good day to you, sir.
Good day.
As you head away, you can hear him go, oh God, we have a monster in town.
Hi, guys.
That looks like it went rather well.
Of course, they're going to give him a chance, and, well, Elmo seems to be his son. Corvin, you haven't met Elmo. He's incredibly nice. Outside of that, his son Otis joined some sort of mercenary group, might be with the bandits outside town. Who knows?
So, should we go investigate that then to make sure nothing has happened to him?
It would be risky without anyone guarding us, though.
We don't even know if he's with them.
Yes, unless we have him properly to where he is, it would be risky going out searching for clues, grasping at straws.
Well, on our way back to tell Nimblefingers the good news, shall we talk to Ted? He might still be in the fields.
I guess so.
Well then, shall we get moving?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go through the fields.
And as you cut through the fields,
I'll take the long way.
a farmhand will come over and say, can we help you?
Oh, hi, a friend of Genovene's. I was looking for Ted.
This guy smiles and says, Uncle Ted? Uncle Ted's up further north.
Thank you. Have a good day.
This time of day, he's probably in his orchard.
What kind of fruits are on the trees?
Apples. Nice, green, sweet apples.
You're making me hungry, Kit.
I'm making me hungry.
I wonder if it's dinner's ready yet. I don't know. I'm playing this session in my room for like first time in weeks, so I don't know.
No food for you.
No, it's meatloaf night.
Oh, meatloaf. Now I miss my grandma's meatloaf. My aunt makes it better. But there's something wonderful about how my grandma used to always put too much fat in the meatloaf, and you get this wonderful, thick, delicious, greasy meatloaf that kind of collapsed. Because she was too lazy to trim the fat off before she ground up her own meat, even though she ground up her own meat.
Now I'm thinking how my aunt used to prepare it with a glazed thing that would have some barbecue sauce, some ketchup with it, because she would make different kinds. And my brother and sister was like, we don't like it with barbecue sauce on top of it, but it was made with the sauces.
Well, my mom uses tomato sauce for the top. I know she also drains out the fat, when it's half done baking, or something like that.
I don't know how my aunt makes it, but she likes to make it varied. So sometimes she'll use tomatoes, sometimes she'll use ketchup, sometimes barbecue, sometimes she'll just rub it with cinnamon before she bakes it. And it gets this burnt crust on the outside.
That sounds nice.
If you ever, when you meet my aunt and you eat her cooking, my aunt, I'm obese. She makes me look thin. She's like a 600-pound woman. And you taste her food and you're like, that's why this is amazing food. Every one of her children and her husband are all thin. And I'm like, I remember once I asked why, and she's like, unfortunately, I married a Mormon, and he loves my food, but he enjoys being prudent and not eating too much more.
That's it.
So, literally, her husband and kids are the only people in the world who could eat her cooking every day and not get fat.
I'm really hungry now.
But yes, there's a man walking amongst the apple trees.
So, do you have any idea what we're going to talk to him about?
Mainly just want to see how he is. Get a little judge of it all.
I guess we could at least properly introduce ourselves to break the ice.
We need to help treat his spiritual malady, possibly with a couple of gentle blows to the head.
Corbin, you're not going to beat down on a depressed man.
He is letting his sickness control him. He is not choosing to stand up and move on with his life.
Corvin, heartbreak isn't a sickness.
He stands, he looks at all of you. He starts walking over towards this other guy and whispers something into his ear. And the other guy starts coming down towards you.
Oh, greetings.
Master Nihlu is wondering what business you have with his farm?
Oh, we just wanted to introduce ourselves to him.
Well, he's not taking visitors at the time, and he'd appreciate it if you'd get off of his property.
Gilbert?
If I may be so, forward with this. We heard that there was a little feud between him and his brother about a barn. May I ask if you know anything more about that?
Rill shrugs. Yes, they're both more prosperous than they were expecting building the barn. But my master's busy with his crops. He's busy with mourning his wife. He's busy with looking for husbands for his daughters. He doesn't have time to build a new barn. And he'd appreciate it that you get off of his property.
Of course.
We'll be back some other time.
And then he heads up and kind of heads over and starts working a field.
That could have gone better. Or could it? It'd be hard to get a sense of understanding him if he's not willing to let anyone close.
Clearly, all we need to do is find husbands for his daughters, make him no longer care about his wife, and then he can talk business.
Well, I guess that leaves... Huh. I wonder if you find husbands.
I love how Liara's actually go for that. Last session, she's like, I don't like stuff.
Sorry,
like
I'm hungry and I'm like starting to break character.
I don't do matchmaking. Unless it's for young women.
I'm sorry, I'm like getting really hungry. I'm starting to lose focus on character.
It's fine. I mean, the only thing she really didn't like was forced matchmaking. Just being like, hey, there's this guy you might like. Could still be on the table.
Or maybe arranging marriages for young girls is okay in Liara's culture, but marriages for men? Come on now. I'm not going to tell you what Liara's culture is like, because that would require looking up the region you're from. And that sounds like work.
I'm hungry. How late in the day is it?
Oh, it's after tea time. You've been doing quite a bit, so it's getting closer to evening, I suppose.
Well, I guess we could go to Nimblefingers and tell him the news.
Yay. And I shall knock before entering.
He'll say, "Come in."
Good day, Jarmlan.
He'll say, "Good day, most beautiful," and then some words in Halfling that are not appropriate to be repeated here.
I shall roll my eyes. I talked to Ember Striker for you. He said he will let you try as an archer, though you will just need to bring your own equipment for the militia.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I suppose I should pay you. I don't have much. He opens up his meager little sewing box and pulls some levers and buttons that release a little hidden catch that he opens, and he starts counting out pieces of silver from there, from his very sparse supply, until he has 10, and he slides that over. This will be enough, I hope.
Well, more than enough. Are you sure you can afford such?
He looks down and says, "No, I really don't think I can, but it would be ungracious not to pay you for such a wonderful service."
Oh yes, I do have a question for Nimblefingers. You still have your old weapons from the war, right?
He looks over and says, "Yes. I have my crossbow, and I have several sets of bolts.
Yeah, okay. It's just that he did say to provide your own weapons.
I've told him that I can bring my own weaponry. Don't need his large, clunky, made-for-human size supplies. I have my good old trusty Vera. He walks over and pats a heavy crossbow.
Now I'm just thinking about how he said halflings couldn't hold a spear, but there goes Bell with this spear proficiency.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe it's a smaller spear.
He clearly has never seen Bell riding chariot back.
I didn't even need to be like, I'm the butcher. It's like, look at my sister. And then Bell's just like swinging around his...
Yeah, been through stuff.
Yeah, Bell's awesome. It's nice to know that if Sir Ilbrick dies, we can just stat out Bell more thoroughly.
Don't jinx it.
And if
Too
Bell
late.
dies,
We've gone like 4 sessions and no one has died.
this is session 3.
This was 4.
No.
This is
We
session
haven't-
3.
If anything, we spent like a 0 session making characters.
Yeah.
This would have been 4, but we didn't, No, wait, no. Did we skip a week?
No, we just didn't record last week because of the whole strike that I was part of.
Gotcha. Oh, and just so you know, Antonio, because you might find this fun, Belle's actual proficiency is with long spears, not short spears.
Oh,
Yes. She's accustomed to using long spears from chariot back in battle.
dang it. I really want to play a ranger now. Doesn't even have to be D&D. I just want to play I just want to play a ranger that isn't as fragile as Linfree.
Well, we could always play Rifts, and you could make a ranger in Rifts.
That sounds fun.
There's not actually a ranger class, it would just be like a ranger, like a park ranger or a US ranger with a different class.
Yeah.
We're
He could be
rambling.
that, like, survivalist wanderer one, but I'm not sure.
There's lots of classes you could do. If we ever play Rifts, though, we're going to have to agree on a power level beforehand, so that we don't end up with another case of City Rat and Glitter Boy.
The power levels are bullshit.
Giant laser gun.
That said,
It's
I did realize the big drawback, Tom, that your Glitter Boy would have had if we actually campaigned that.
What?
Armor doesn't heal naturally.
Yeah, I'd have to try and feel to repair it.
Yeah, it's expensive to fix.
Though in general, Antonio, it doesn't seem like that bad. It just depends on the setting, because I didn't know I was going to go rural city. I thought I was going to be like in a city, which is why I went with like a hacker type guy, because
Yeah.
I felt that character. But then it's
Yeah.
like, no, here's a vampire that could one-hit kill you, because you're not geared for this.
Yeah. But to be fair, you were geared for this the way I was hoping you would be geared for this, and you did what I wanted. You were smart. You knocked the building down in broad daylight and burned it to a crisp. Good job.
Actually, I just copied what a book said to do with the equivalent of a black core vampire. Blow the building up, soak it all in gasoline, burn it, and then blow it up again.
Yeah, Rifts is fun. Rifts is fun.
I just know I kind of want to make like an actual psychic now, because it was fun being a psychic. I just had like no point.
I loved how you kept failing that really simple thing. To figure out what the heck was going on with like reading the psychic energies off the objects.
Antonio, so you know, I had like 4 different skills that I could do to tell things with items, and each specific check got easier. So knowing all the information was like a DC 12 and then 14, 16, 18. I failed every single one for 3 different items.
Oh dear. Guess the dice just didn't like you that time.
Yeah. But anyway, what do you all wish to do?
Well, we managed to solve one thing. What was the reward again? I know it's just for a cereal break, but I'm just asking out of character.
10 silver.
10 silver.
And
I would.
let's say we'll give everyone 100 experience for that.
Neat.
And now everyone's looking at your XP charts going, did we level?
Not even close.
Well, I put down like the experience I need to besides the experience I have.
Yeah, you're not going to level for a long time. You're a damn wizard.
I'm actually close to it. If we just do a little bit more, I could level.
How far are you?
I need, I think it was 1,250, and I'm 102 off.
Okay.
And I get the 10%, so I would only need like 101.
Okay.
I would have leveled last time if not for the ring being magic. Which, I'm not against a magic ring. I just find it funny.
No, maybe you could use that ring to spy on Ted.
The guy at the castle thing?
Ted's the farmer, John's the guy at the castle.
I could.
Just saying, this is not my character saying this. It's just me saying you do have a ring of invisibility you could exploit.
I can start sending love letters between him and I was disconnected. Him and the
I guess the computer agrees with me. Oh, matchmaking allowed.
No, that's how invisible I am. I'm not even in the game.
Ah. So, you've got... Now, do you want me to kind of run down the quests you guys have told me are your quests?
I have a little list I've been keeping here.
Okay.
Let's see, I do have kind of a list, but it's kind of scattered within my chronicle that I kept from last week to do the recap this week.
Yeah, mine's still a bit scattered. From what I know, though, the 2 farm brothers still, the bandits to the east.
Carpenter's looking for someone to help him with orders.
Yep, Spark Noir wants us to help him with, I put Magic Land for some reason. I don't know what I was smoking. Rufus with his workmen converting the one guy's son into atheism. And, did we get any others? Because, strikes through the one we just did.
Well, we still have Spoognor who wants to investigate an evil domain. They are... No, wait, that's, let's see. Let's see.
Oh yeah, you were really diligent last session with your notes. Like, Kit, you told me to take notes. I'm noting down all this.
Rufus, something about why the workers aren't working. We have Boss who needs his... I think I'm disconnected.
Did we miss any of the quests?
Let's see,
That you know we
we
did.
have the guy with the son who has the issue with them being a different religion.
Yeah, that's...
You mean the right religion?
I'm seriously considering to play the old, like a character who worships the old ways just to get a while out of you.
I'm sorry, I thought I spelled heresy. What was that?
Oh, it's gonna be Alicia.
I'm not saying justice is bad. I'm just saying you need to have the best priority would be having a stable lifestyle.
It's going to be Alicia and Aikyo all over again.
Oh no, please no.
Only Only not involving embezzlement and hopefully not becoming a real-world conflict that tears a gaming group apart.
I would hope not.
No, this is just messing around.
Alicia and Aikyo would have been such a wonderful thing if it hadn't turned into the players bickering.
Yeah, I guess that was the worst thing about Kingmaker was like the bickering ended up not helping us go anywhere.
Yeah. Oh well. That's life.
Oh well. Dang it, I really hope next character I roll stats for a ranger. I just want to play a ranger.
You just want a ranger, and then you're going to be disappointed at 2nd edition rangers. It's okay. 2nd edition's wonderful.
Well, it doesn't have to be a ranger. I just I don't know. I guess my character concept was like from that Champions story thing that I told you earlier. The concept was basically he had a message from the goddess who wants to be unsealed, and now he's on more or less a pilgrimage to do so.
Okay, that's a thing we can consider. But I like Liara, and I couldn't be a bard, so I'm a merchant. But I'm actually a merchant.
I like that too.
So, what are our fine trio of adventurers going to do?
That is a good question.
Shall we question more people, or shall we,
It's beginning to get dark.
I was thinking maybe go back and talk to Spud Noir. Nope, I take that back. We should pet the cat.
We should what?
Pet the cat.
Kelly jumped up and stretched, and now Tom's fem.
Maybe we should go to figure out the orders back in Burbank. What's that? Burbank?
You're going to travel to Verbank.
Well, not right now, but...
Do we even need to head back there? Because he kind of just went out of town like, oh, I need to count things, and just ditched us.
It's also confusing.
He was kind of walking towards the campsite, which I put on the wrong side of the river.
Oh yeah, we never saw the campsite. We could go look there. Maybe in-game tomorrow then, or not?
We could go now and pretend we're workers.
Or we could just ask. I don't think they would mind talking.
I was more joking that free night of rest. That's not... Oh wait, we have a free room. Never mind.
Yeah. We will still need to pay to eat, but we got free room.
Free room. Not room. Well, okay, I guess it is 2 rooms because it's the suite.
Okay. Free lodgings.
Well, if it's getting late, we might as well head back to the inn. If anyone's doing anything.
Maybe Elmo's there. Maybe we can talk to him.
Sounds good.
Our tokens. Oh, there they are.
In the inn, we're at the, counter.
Oh, no, still looking at the Hamlet map.
I'm not sleeping with Rufus and Bernie.
Now you come back in and you see Rufus sitting there looking, as Bernie and Elmo are sitting there chugging back booze going, and drink, and drink, and drink, and drink, and drink, and drink some more, hey!
I don't think we're gonna solve Elmo's drinking problem.
Nah, I'm gonna go up. Osler, you need to let Elmo go cold turkey.
Osler's gonna look up and say, are you kidding? Last time I did that, he came by with his axe. I don't want to do that again.
Completely understandable.
I have the wheels turning to my head, but I don't want to say it out loud.
wheels are turning in your head.
I don't want to say it out here in the public.
Well, then let's go into his side room. Ooh, looks like Spurgnar is trying to get more people to go with him.
Do you think we should listen in?
I'm going to kind of walk away, pull it on my ring, and go listen.
Yeah,
I'll walk over.
Walk over.
You two are not stealthy in fucking slightest.
Well, do we have a need to be stealthy?
I love that Sir Ilbric's like, I'm going to invisible, walking over there, and you can hear the discussion between Zert and Spugnor about how Zert really feels that he should have a share of magic treasure as well, because he's going to be putting his life on the line. And then here comes Liara and Corvin and Carrington, and Spugnor's like, friends! I think we found another member of our expedition.
So I see we're negotiating on a deal.
Spugnor smiled and said, yes, I thought you were going to be here helping me today. I haven't seen you all day.
Sorry, it's just we got sidetracked.
Well, Zert here is willing to come along for a nice and reasonable solid share, but I do need to try to explain that our purpose is to gather in magical items, and I'm not going to take a share at all. I just need the artifacts. And Zert goes, aye, and the artifacts are where the wealth lies. And I'm going to be wanting my wealth.
That is a tricky... I'm trying to think how I could negotiate this.
Well, think out loud.
Well, the purpose is to retrieve magic items. So I assume we're already going to be paid just for bodyguarding and or helping with the investigation. And plus, we don't really know if there's going to be involving risking our lives or not until we reach there.
Zert's going to look over at you and say, you always take a share on a dungeon delve, because it's always going to risk your life. And when half the fools end up dead, then your share's even more. He gives a little wicked smile.
Does he have any holy symbols on him by chance?
He does not.
Just wondering.
He just wears a solid suit of armor. If you want to know the particular type, I can go to his stat block. Yar, stat block. He wears a solid set of scale mail. He has a shield on his back, a sword in his belt.
That actually reminds me. So I actually read about this because I wasn't sure, and it mentioned the defensive adjective thing from Dex is only for dodgeable things, but would that make my AC go from a 5 to, I have a -3, a 2 for most things? And it said dodgeable. I wasn't sure if you entirely knew what it meant by dodgeable.
So like if you are pinned up against the wall and there's a giant boulder coming at you and you're in a narrow hallway, well, crud, you're going to get squished by a boulder. Or, oh no, there's a fancy futuristic gun for some reason. Pew pew.
So it's kind of like the dodge bonus in Pathfinder?
You get it if it's something I think you could realistically dodge.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like a lot of things in second edition, it's GM fiat.
Just thought I would ask.
Yeah. It's a good question. I will let you know if anything I feel is not dodgeable. So yes, what's going on? Negotiations over Zert's pay?
That's what I'm trying to think. What's your opinions?
All I would ask is if there was any holy artifacts dedicated to St. Cuthbert that I might be able to have them for the church.
I love how Liara's like, how can we make Zert not take magical items? And Corvin's like, give me magical items.
Oh dear.
Only if they are clear artifacts of the church.
Spugnor is going to look at you and say, well, it's very doubtful that there'll be artifacts of the Church of St. Cuthbert in a ruin around here. You're newcomers.
Which is why it should be any problem then, right?
Yes. Any magical artifacts are going to be associated with my master's research into the arcane history of the region. And it's doubtful they'll be worth much to anyone besides my master, Zert. Zert just kind of looks like, I work for equal shares.
Well, since the job is retrieving the magic artifacts for a specific purpose, I don't believe we can consider the magic artifacts the wealth we'll receive.
Zert's going to stop and look at you and say, so the magic isn't part of our wealth.
Well, we're not being paid in magic items anyway.
The magic is what we're trying to find, it looks like.
Why not? He holds out his hand towards Spugnor. I'm in.
First level fighter recruited.
Yay!
Wait, was I right about his class?
Zert has joined the party.
Now to put him in the back row and never use him.
Poor Gachi.
So, what are you all going to do? Are you going to speak with anyone else?
Should we get more people to join, or should we not?
I'll mention to Spugwar how Colbert and Chirico over there would go for half shares if we have them go out on an expedition with us.
Oh, that's wonderful. Would you go speak to them?
Okay.
I'll finalize sort of a party agreement, Spugnor says.
Liara should probably come with me. She speaks their language.
Of course. I'm also proficient in etiquette, so since I know their language, but I also know their customs.
Sure. You know the formal customs of the people, the Bakluni.
Guess in their language, I'll say greetings.
And as you do, Toroko will stand, put his hands together, bow, and say formally in Bakluni, greetings, and feel no need to speak our tongue, stranger, though we are respected, you learned it. And Cobort's just going to sit there, and he's going to look at Liara. Look very intently at Liara.
Okay then. Then I guess we'll get down to business. We were considering asking you to join us on an expedition.
What sort of expedition?
Spud Noir would like us to go with him to investigate. What was it? What was it again?
Ruins that his master believes hold magical artifacts.
Yeah, some ruins that we believe hold some magical artifacts. Our job would be to simply retrieve the magical artifacts. We will not receive the magical artifacts as pay, but any of the wealth we find there will be split among the parties.
Cobort seems about ready to protest when Taroko leans over and lays a hand on his shoulder and says in Backloony, "This will be acceptable," before repeating in common, "This is acceptable. We will gladly join in for a half share of treasure each."
Of course. Well then, I shall go to Spud Noir for the news. And
as you are heading out, Taroko will say, "When is the expedition leaving and where are we to meet?"
That is exactly what I was about to ask.
Well,
As far as I can tell, we're meeting here. We can get the date for you.
well, why don't we come and join in? And the two stand up and will come with you back to Spugnor. They will both stand by the table so you may sit.
Guess I'll take that offer.
I guess I'm sitting next to Spud. All right, Black Potato, when are we doing this? If we're doing a mission, we need code names.
And Zert will look across and say, "Yes, you are Black Potato. I suppose... Do our names have to be vegetable themed?
No, I just felt it matched him.
Taroko will say, "I am White Carrot."
Oh dear.
I shall be Red Cabbage.
Spignoir is just going, "What? I don't understand."
Perhaps I should go with green lettuce? A bit redundant, but...
Everyone's confused, but I love... Oh, I love that's in his name now.
Everyone's like, "Yes, vegetable names," and Zert will rub his chin and just go, "Rutabaga."
Oh dear.
Carrington shall be brown zucchini.
Brown zucchini. Don't eat that.
Oh dear.
And Cobort will just look and say, "I am Cobort."
Seems like broccoli to me.
And Spugnoir will go, "Okay. Well, I wasn't expecting that we would need code names, but since we have now gotten code names, I suppose we should go to the business of the formalized contract to set out this expedition." And he has, a little hastily scribbled little legal contract of, "Hey, everyone's joining at their own risk. Magical items discovered will be first given property of the master. And then after that, all loot shall be transferred out according to shares below." And then he has a little table where he's got name, shares. He's already written down Spugnoir 0. And he says, "Well, if everyone who would like to join in would write their name and their share number that we've agreed upon, Zert has already written Zert 1.
So I'm guessing... Wait, so does the party just have one, or is it like one each?
It's one each.
So I'll write down one.
Okay.
I'll put 1. Also, I shall now be Silver Hams.
Silver hams. Okay.
That's not a vegetable.
Isn't there a vegetable called hams?
Are you thinking
Let me Google.
yams? Are you thinking about yams?
Oh, yams. That's what I was thinking of.
Yams.
I will be Silver Yams.
Silver Yams, the 96-year-old porn star.
Oh dear.
But I'm gonna burn in hell. So, everyone has come to their agreements. And where do we all intend to meet and where?
Wait. Liara doesn't have a code name yet.
I
Yes,
did
I
not.
did. Yes, I did. I said green lettuce.
She's boring.
I did not write down player character code names
I did.
on your tokens. So you can write your code name on your token if you want to. I was going to, and then I saw Sir Ilbrick Proudmead, the Butcher of Aglath, that is now saying it's Red Cabbage afterwards. God damn it, your name is so long.
Oh dear.
It's just gonna get longer as the game goes on. Master Thief Sir Partition Ilbrick Proudmead.
Esquire.
Doctor the Butcherer of Eglath. Also the painter of... I don't know.
I'm just gonna gather titles.
Whose secret name is the murderous Red Cabbage.
All fear the Red Cabbage. And Spoke Noir, as everything gets finished out and you agree, I assume, to meet here tomorrow morning.
Oh, tomorrow? Sure.
He says, so all that remains is I suppose we should have a formal name for our expedition. Does anyone have any suggestions?
Well, since we all have vegetable things, why not call it the Magi Garden?
Hang on a second.
Or Rainbow Garden.
The Rainbow Garden.
The Rainbow Garden, I kind of like that.
This is the gay pride expedition.
Considering who's in charge of it, that's kind of appropriate.
Here.
Spoke Noir? You're making some assumptions about the black potato.
Dear God, he's fabulous. Look at how fabulous he is. There's at least a 40% chance that he could be gay. And or evil.
Oh yeah, Tom did think Spug Noir was a female person. He was like, Liara, you shouldn't allow a man into your bed. So in Corbin's eyes, he probably is being like, you should only allow females in your bed, like me.
Wait, is Spug Noir a guy or a girl?
Spug Noir is a guy.
Okay, I thought so.
He wears he wears an aristocratic outfit, and he keeps his well-groomed blonde hair pulled back in a ponytail, as is the style of young students in the city of Greyhawk at present.
50% chance he's gay right now. That goes up to 75% if he's evil.
I love how
I love how it's Tom. Tom is the one saying that the gays are evil.
Oh dear. I'm not saying that too much.
Hey, I'm evil, so obviously it's true.
Good job. Now there's going to be a million posts on Tumblr about how you are a bad person for stereotyping gays as evil people.
Hey, I can do it.
I would
am
not
one.
mind having a million posts on Tumblr saying, hey, watch these people and be angry.
It's like, I'm just going to put ads on this video.
Alright, so let's just see how offensive I can make Corden be.
We need some straight people in this gaming group, I think.
Let's see.
Besides you, Antonio.
I was about to say.
Let's see. He doesn't like women. He considers gay people to be evil. He is very, very religious to the point of fanatic. Okay, what else can we do to him?
As a religious fanatic, I'm quite offended by the idea that you consider us to be offensive.
You know I'm joking, kid.
I know.
Here.
I wouldn't call you a fanatic.
Let's just say that my priest has called me a fanatic before.
Hey, I am curious now.
I think that's a question I'd rather leave untouched.
Yeah, it's an in thing because we're all Episcopalians, and there's kind of three branches of Episcopalianism. There's the traditionalist branch, there's the liberal branch, and there's the conservative branch. And kind of the traditionalist branch says, when in doubt, you err on the side of church tradition. The liberal branch is, when in doubt, you err on the side of reason. And the conservative branch is, when in doubt, you return to the text and apply yourself textually. Our priest is a liberal. I am a conservative. So we like to poke fun at each other. I mean, you are aware I own 6 different translations of the Bible into English.
Yes, you told me about it.
I'm aware now.
My son's like, why do you have 6 copies of the Bible? I'm like, there's 6 different translations. And I used to have a Hebrew Bible and the Septuagint, but those got lost in the divorce. Along with my copy of the Quran. I think I still have the meaning of the Quran around here somewhere, though, which is good, because that's the one I can actually read. But I am sad, because the Quran I had was a gift from my neighbor in college, because I'd picked up the meaning of the Quran to read, because, hey, there's this Islam thing everyone's talking about on the news, let's learn about it. And he's like, no, you have to read it in Arabic, otherwise you don't understand the meaning. And he gave me his copy that his mother had gave him. And I'm like, thanks, I am not going to learn Arabic to read this, but it's very pretty. We are going off topic so much tonight. And there are people watching us. So
come for the D&D, stay for the debate.
Stay for the gay religious fanatic.
Stay for the sweet vegetable nicknames.
Yes.
Which are never going away.
The Rainbow Garden. Okay. Tomorrow the Rainbow Garden shall depart.
And we're all probably gonna die.
So.
Don't say that.
Black potato has been chopped. I'm going to have to come up with enough plant puns to go with this.
Red cabbage has betrayed us. Everyone flee.
Brown zucchini has been sliced and diced.
Jim, what have you done?
White carrot's been minced.
The broccoli has been steamed.
My name is Cobort.
Don't try to talk, Broccoli. It's okay. I'll heal you.
At which point we learn that he is secretly undead, and you kill him.
That wouldn't be that bad. More shares for us.
If I get killed by slime, we can just say the person's been marinated.
Oh, I do hope that this remains a thing until level 20.
The Rainbow Garden is coming! Run!
Well. Do you wish to depart this session or break for the week?
I think we should break for the week.
Okay. I think that I'm going to give everyone 101 experience for good role-playing.
I'm so happy, Kit. Thank you.
101. Okay. So that's...
Now all of your numbers can be off forever.
Mine was already off because I have that 10% bonus.
How far are you from leveling, Tom? I might give everyone a little extra.
It ends 59.
Sure. Instead of 101, everyone gets 160. That way our tanks are level 2.
No, I'm still 700 experience off now.
Oh, well. Our tank is level 2. Our casters aren't.
Oh my god, did you just change the 1? Because I was like, haha, but then I was like starting to go, oh no, my OCD's kicking in.
So it's 161. No, it's fine. 160, sure. I'll give everyone that. Yay, 2 more hit points.
Oh man, I just realized I'm probably gonna roll one higher roll for HP again.
I have 6 now. I probably have the most of everyone here.
Yay.
Double mine.
Everyone's terrible hit points. Oh, such a squishy party.
Like, I'm expecting this much hit.
To be fair, we haven't dinged yet. We're still level 1.
Somebody's dinged.
One of us is dinged. The other 2 is still level 1.
I have a 1d3 for hit dice.
Should have a D4, I thought.
Okay. No, I rolled a 3 for my first roll.
You rolled a 3 for your first roll, yeah. You rolled really well for your first roll.
I just hope I don't die.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. What should I put my thief skills into? Pickpocketing, opening locks, finding or removing traps, moving silently. I don't really need hiding shadows right now. Detecting noises, climbing walls, and I kind of don't need read languages right now because Liara just learned stuff off the top of
Traps could be good.
Yeah, traps or pick locks.
Yep, I think those 2.
Remember that when it comes to picking a lock, you get 1 attempt per level per lock.
So he'll get 2 attempts for each lock then?
No. If he fails his lock, he can't try that lock again until he hits level 3.
Oh. I thought he got 1 attempt for every level he has per lock.
Nope.
Well, with putting 15 points in,
Well, if he tries every level, then just, maybe 1 attempt for each level.
I currently have a 35% chance to open locks, but that's because I don't have thieves' tools. If you guys want to put forward 30 gold worth of cash, I will have a 50% chance to open locks.
I can only cover 1/3 of that if I really wanted to.
I love how poor everyone is.
Well, once we find the wealth, probably gonna try to keep most. If we find weapons and stuff, I'll probably try to keep those or artifacts. Unless they're magic, of course, but who knows? Maybe I can find something.
I wonder if I should name all these people. Don't mind me. What people? No people. So.
Nice session.
Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Nope. Not from me.
We're all gonna die.
What level should we be at when we're going here?
There's no level guides in these old modules. That's a thing Pathfinder started up.
We're just gonna have to be clever.
So the entire T1 through 4 is levels 1 through 6. So, and remember, even at your max level, you still have to be clever because you're going to be squishy.
Just remembered, I technically have another language. Kind of.
Sure, you can pick it too. Why not?
Oh, no. The thieves can't.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like the slang.
Thieves can't. I keep forgetting that's a thing that exists too. So, yes. Next time, etc. I'm going to go ahead and stop streaming at this point, unless I should actually open up. Are there any questions from viewers that the players can answer before we all run off and eat things and go to sleep? Because we do have viewers. Not many, but a few. So we'll give it a moment for Twitch to catch up and send them that message and for them to go, oh crap. Do we have questions?
Why the Rainbow Garden?
If you guys didn't have any ideas, I was going to have Spugnor suggest the Great and Mighty Salad Core. But the Rainbow Garden is fine. Fits in the color theme. Color vegetables.
Well, we're now one of Tom's favorite things. We are Super Sentai.
Why did you do this to me and make me suddenly imagine we need spandex suits now?
I think Laura might oppose spandex.
We need spandex suits now.
God damn it.
Nope, spandex is against City Cuthbert's rules.
Fuck St. Cuthbert! This is Super Sentai!
And that's the day that Corvin lost all his spellcasting capabilities.
Dun dun dun.
But you don't understand. You don't understand. Super Sentai. We would need a roll call then, too. So we need to take 5 turns to do a roll call.
I'm so sorry.
And the enemies will never attack us.
We regret to inform you that this doesn't work like that. Also, we had an entire session with no combat again.
Yeah.
The only combat we've had this entire campaign so far is those damn spiders.
I think it's because we're kind of scared to go into combat constantly because they're not exactly meant for that.
I'm not that scared. I have a +3 to attack. It's kind of hard to hit me. Liara is the one who ran away with the stick. And Tom can't be hit. He might not be able to hurt people, but he can't be touched.
But I also can't take damage. If I take a 20, I'm probably dying.
Just remember, there's no shame in going, shit, well, expedition's done for the day, let's go home and hide. Except possibly pissing off your hirelings.
Oh dear.
I love that you hired everyone. Except Elmo.
He was too busy with Bernie.
We can't supply him anyway.
Which, yet again, I was tempted to pick Bernie's pocket.
Oh gosh, I would love you to pick Bernie's pocket. That would just be great.
More magic items for the thief.